Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and beyond. So today, I have something very special for you. This is my own original tag, which I did with Daniela from Uncommon Reader. And it is a Christmas tag that I did in honor of my first anniversary here on BookTube. So through the power of the internet, Daniela, who is in Italy, and me in the USA in Virginia, we got together and we were able to come up with this tag. So we really hope that you like it. And let's go ahead and get started with it. The inaugural launch of the Christmas music tag. Now, I realize we're a little ahead of things by having Christmas music, but you got to figure by the time this kind of goes around and everybody, does their part, it'll be Christmas. So this gives you enough time to kind of think about your answers and get your, video together if you choose to do it. But I'm going to tag some people at the end, but let's just go ahead and get started with the tag first. Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself, of course. I'm Renee from Beyond Books, and over here is my co-host. Her name is Raina, and she's wearing her red and green Christmas collar today. So she's all decked out and she's getting ready to go. She likes Christmas. She likes any holiday that has extra snacks. So, all right, here we go. So now this is the Christmas music tag. So this tag is based on songs, carols, and hymns that celebrate the Christmas season. However, you do not have to be familiar with the music to do the tag. So here are the prompts. The first one is Joy to the World, and it's a book that brings you so much joy you wish the whole world would read it. So, Joy to the World. Here we go. How's that? Okay, anyway, my answers are actually two series of books. And I believe I've mentioned both of these on my channel previously. One series that I've been following for some time, and I've probably read the majority of the books in the series. And those are Tim Dorsey's books. He is the author, and he's from Tampa, Florida. And he wrote a series of, I think it's up to 26 books now, about a drifter whose name is Serge Storms. And Serge travels through Florida with a host of wacky friends. And he's not afraid to confront other wacky people in Florida who are doing the wrong thing, let's say. And Serge is very creative about the way that he disposes of people who are being less than kind. So the books are actually hilarious. They're very funny. But one of the best things about Serge is that he loves Florida. So he knows all of the history and all of the out of the way places. And the books are really fun. And you actually end up in the end learning a lot about Florida history and, different tourism places and things like that. So they're great. The other series that brings me joy is a new one from me. And I have one of the books here. This is the Andy Carpenter series by David Rosenfeld. This one happens to be called Deck the Hounds. Right, Raina? We're going to read that one for Christmas. They all have dogs in them. This person is a big dog person, David Rosenfeld. And the one that I read last year, which is the only one I've read so far, is called Dachshund Through the Snow. So I would say those are awfully fun too. So number 2 is, the prompt is based on the song Let It Snow. And it's a book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment. So for that, I chose a book called Deep, Deep Snow by Brian Freeman. And there was another one I read a couple of years later called Summit Lake by Charlie Donlan. I remember those both taking place in snowy, cold environments. And they were both thrillers. I read them both within the past 4 or 5 years at the most. And yeah, they were both actually excellent thrillers. So Deep, Deep Snow by Brian Freeman and Summit Lake by Charlie Donlan. So number 3, the prompt is, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch." And that one is for a book with a mean character or one that you just didn't like. Now, for that, I chose a book called Beneath a Ruthless Sun, S-U-N, by Gilbert King. This book is also about Florida. I read it a few years ago. I think I took it out of the little free library, and I had never heard of it before. But it is a nonfiction book, true story, took place in Central Florida, in a small town, in the 1950s. And there's a sheriff in the town, and he was, an actual person, and he is just mean. Some of the things he does are, just simply to be mean and cruel. It's a great story, and it's very well written. So, yeah, hard to say I enjoyed that one because it's a little bit of a difficult book emotionally, because of the things that happened, but it was very good. So the next prompt is, let's see, get back over to that page. Okay, Santa Claus is coming to town. So that's a book releasing soon that you can't wait to read. So now I'm just learning that Santa Claus is coming to town song, so I'm just going to do the end. Hopefully you can hear that okay. Probably you can. Usually it's too loud, if anything. Let's see. So what did I choose for that? That was a book. Oh, that's a book coming out, right? So I chose for that A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. I would like to get to this by the end of November or around that time. I want it to at least be a little bit cold out when I read it. I got this as an advanced reading copy. I need to read it and do a review on it. So, I want to get to doing that, but I also, like I say, kind of want to wait for it to get cold. I read another book by this author that I did enjoy very much. I read No One Can Know. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a good one. So we'll see what I think when we're all done. So the next one, the prompt is 12 Days of Christmas, a book of short stories. Well, for that, this is the most, well, maybe not the most recent, but one of the most recent books of short stories that I have read recently. And that is Stephen King, You Like It Darker. Just so happens that there's 12 short stories in here. So, how could I not mention it? But he has done a series of books that have kind of the similar titles. This one I have not read yet. It's on my shelf just after sunset. So kind of got a theme going there with the dark and the sunset and that kind of thing. Next prompt is number 6, The Little Drummer Boy, a book that brings back childhood memories. Okay, so for that, I chose a couple of books here. The first one is A Very Virginia Christmas by Wilford Cale. Even though I didn't grow up in Virginia, this book goes into some stories that are like part of people's memories or stories about historic events that have to do with Christmas. And I read some of this on my channel last year. I also have here a really nice edition of The Night Before Christmas by Clement see more. And now I also read this on my channel last year. I've since taken down those 2 videos since they were kind of seasonal, but I'm thinking about maybe redoing them somehow and then kind of updating them and re-releasing them for this year. So we'll see if I can get to that, maybe 1 or 2 of them. That would be great. But yeah, those 2 books definitely bring back childhood memories for me. So number 7 is based on the song Deck the Halls. And it's a book that has a party scene or takes place during a holiday. So that was a little challenging for me, but I do have a book for it. It's a book I read last year, actually, at Christmas time. And it's called Homicide for the Holidays. And it's by Cheryl Honingford. And it takes place, I think it was in the 40s, if I remember. And at the beginning, there's a big party. The people are, kind of well off, well-to-do. And so there's a big party for the holiday, and something gets stolen. And that's kind of what kicks off the story. So it is book 1 in a 3-part series. It's the only one that I've read. I just read that last Christmas. I don't know. I would probably pick up the other 2 books in the series, but I don't have time this Christmas because I have so much other stuff that I've committed to read. So it won't be this Christmas anyway. Now, the next one, this is an interesting prompt. It is Frosty the Snowman, and it's a book with a character who is cold or calculating. Well, I'm ashamed to admit that I read this book, but it's called Tampa, and it is by Elisa Nutting. It's a fictionalized story, but it's based on a true story that actually happened, again, in Florida, the Tampa area, where a female teacher was molesting her male students. The boys were, 14, 15-year-old age groups. And she was very cold and calculating about how she would target some of these particular boys. And she was just so obviously sneaky about her sexual encounters with them. Her husband was a police officer. And everyone who reads this book is basically repulsed by it. But it's one of those things that, has something fascinating about it. I mean, it's really just mind-blowing when you think about it. And the book does make you think about how we as a society look at gender roles and sexual roles and expectations and perceptions, both on the male side, positive and negative, and the female side, positive and negative. I remember, that case when it happened in the Tampa area. It was a shocker then, and it's a shocker when you read the book as well. I still would recommend the book, but because I think it's a very good book, but I do realize that by no means is it for everyone, for sure. And now I can't believe that I just admitted to reading it, right here on YouTube. So anyway, bonus question. Okay, so the bonus question is this. Let me get to it here. Okay, and it's optional, so you don't have to do the bonus question if you do the tag. Do you have a fun memory or interesting holiday tradition that you would like to share? And it does not have to be about Christmas. It can be about any holiday you choose. Because I realize not everybody celebrates Christmas. Not everybody has positive memories of Christmas. So, you can just choose something that you have positive memories of. Keep it light if that's your choice. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to say that I remember when we used to have snow on Christmas, and it was cold. Now, today, for instance, was well over 70 degrees here. I mean, yeah, this is Virginia and it's further south than where I grew up. But even here, I mean, people tell me that it was way colder in November and December, just maybe 10 or 20 years ago, let alone 50 or 60 years ago. Um, you know, it was great at Christmas time when we could go sledding, we could go ice skating. Now that's outside, not in a rink. We didn't have a skating rink in the town I grew up in until I was like, 16 years old. Um, we could make a snowman, have a snowball fight. I mean, it was all fun. And I really would like to see more snow than I have in recent years. It's possible that I may, of course, but it's just been so many years since that's happened. So there you go. That's a Christmas wish for me. So, all right, that's the tag. The last thing, of course, is to share the cheer, tag others, and have a very happy holiday season. So I will put all the prompts in my description. I will tag people in my description. Yeah, that's it. The Christmas music tag. So thanks very much for watching. And just to let you know, I am having a giveaway to celebrate my 1 year on YouTube. That was yesterday, Monday, the 11th of November. So I put up a video announcing the giveaway. And if you haven't heard about it, I'll put a link to that video in the description as well. You can head on over there and find out the rules and see the prizes and make a decision if you want to join the fun. So as always, Reney and I, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.